All right, so here we're going to look at a question from the 5.05 quiz, and we have a question about the distance to the Earth's horizon from point P. So first we need to know that we are dealing with a right triangle here. That's really important as we move through this question. So this is a right triangle because of that being a radius of Earth here, right here. And you can tell that's a radius because notice it's the same distance from the center to the edge here, 3959, 3005, or 959, and from here. So those are both radii of the Earth. And it says, what is the distance here, x, from the horizon to point P? And so now we're dealing with the right triangle, which means that we can actually use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. The hypotenuse is here, right across from the right angle, but you have to be careful because we have to add the radius plus the piece that's outside of the circle. So you're going to have 3,959 plus 15.6, and that's going to give you the hypotenuse. So you'll get, for the hypotenuse there, you're going to get 3,974.6. And so we're just going to use Pythagorean theorem. X squared plus 3,959 squared equals 3,974.6 squared. So we're going to square both. Well, we're going to square the right-hand side. And then we're going to take that and we're going to subtract 3,959 squared, from both sides. And so whatever we get on this right-hand side when we subtract those two is going to be our x squared. We're going to take that, again, we're going to take whatever we got, which is going to be a pretty large number. You're going to get 123,764.16. And we're going to take the square root of that to get x. So we'll square root both sides. And that will give you, it's 351, so just to remind you here, I didn't write it because I was putting the calculator, but you take a square root of both sides, and you'll get 351.801, so it says round it to the nearest tenth, which is 1 decimal. So that's where that 351.8 comes in. Now the next one says we have a cylindrical or cylinder-shaped water tank, and it's 160 centimeters tall, and it measures 87.92 centimeters around. So that means that its circumference is 87.92. Now remember, circumference is equal to 2 pi r. And I do need the radius to find the volume, because volume is equal to pi r squared times the height for a cylinder. I know the height. Height is 160, but I don't know the radius. I can find it, though, since I know the circumference. Say 87.92 is equal to 2, and notice it says use 3.14 for pi. We'll say 2 times 3.14 times r. This is going to give you 6.28 r. 87.92 is equal to 6.28 r. So you're going to take 87.92 and divide it by 6.28. And that will give you 14. So the radius is 14. Now we just plug in. volume is equal to, and instead of pi, we're going to use 3.14 because they tell us to, times pi times r squared, so r was 14 squared, times the height of 160. So let's put it in the calculator. 3.14 times 14 squared times 160, and you will get volume is equal to 98,470.4. It's going to be pretty large, which makes sense because look at the numbers that we're dealing with there. So there's your volume.